Good afternoon, Westwood, and welcome to Westwood High School. Still not a name yet, I don't believe, Evan.
No, I don't think so.
We'll call it Bridget Malkeen Field for time being. How's that sound?
I like that.
All right,
I think
there
it's
we
a good
go.
idea.
Welcome to Bridget Malkeen Field. The Wolverines taking the field right now as they are ready to go to battle. Non-league game versus Milton. The Wildcats, I believe, of Milton.
Yeah, Milton Wildcats.
Yeah.
And Morgan, as we start this broadcast, the sun's starting to peer
Yeah,
out a
it's
little
peaking.
bit. The clouds are going away. It was a rainy day this morning. I know DPW this morning was out on this field getting it ready for game day. Boys baseball at Braintree was canceled today due to, I believe, field conditions because of the weather we had last night. But Department of Public Works in Westwood, some of the best in the state.
We got the best in the absolute state here in Westwood.
They got this field ready to go, and we're ready for some softball. Westwood coming in looking to, find a groove in their season, coming against a very strong non-league team in Milton. So it should be a good game today. Expect to see them come out fired up.
No question about it. So the Wolverines coming in at 1-5, Milton at 3-2. This is a great game, rematch of a great game last year. Westwood went out to Milton. I believe it was under the lights, and they remember Tom being there, and
yeah,
he had a bunch of highlights, that he put together from a game. Post-game perspective, it was like they were tearing the cover off the ball in that game. So, sometimes it's just about matchups. And when you get a matchup where you see the ball well against, a certain team where the arm angle, really fits kind of your strengths, good things happen. So, it's a great opportunity for the Wolverines. It's a non-league game. It's, a team that doesn't know your tendencies, you don't know theirs. So it's going to be a little playoff feel with that. But a good opportunity to just get a big win here. This is where you can create some momentum here, as it's still somewhat early in the season.
Yeah.
But to get your season back on track, 1-5, you get a win here, you go to 2-5, to get in the meat and potatoes of additional TVL games. That's where you want to be.
Absolutely.
So first pitch is a ball high, and we got a pitcher. We got Alexis Cahill on the mound for the Wolverines, and great opportunity. I believe Julia Tartufo was pitching for the early games.
She was the opening day starting pitcher for the Wolverines, but we'll see Cahill here as the Wolverines. There's a shot into left center field.
Takes one hop, gets by Tartufo, going to work its way to the fence. Raffoni throws it in as the Milton player works her way into third standing up. So an opening triple for Caliberti. That was a nicely hit ball right in the right field gap. Worked its way to the fence, and she is standing up at third.
Right towards us, Morgan. But no, like we said, for a chance to see, a little bit of the Wolverines rotation. Last year and in seasons past, it was the Bridget Malkeen show, and it's good to see some of the options the Wolverines have at pitcher. See what we have in Cahill and Tartufo.
Oh, that's a great pitch there. And Cahill brings something different, a lefty pitcher. We haven't seen too many of the games we've covered over the years. I don't think we've seen any lefty pitchers.
We haven't, and the thing about lefty pitchers in both baseball and softball is that, it spins just a bit differently, so it hits a bit different as well. And, for some batters and some, it gets harder to kind of deal with. It has a different movement to it, especially when you're throwing underhand in softball. So,
This is a pitcher-on-pitcher matchup. Daly, the pitcher for Milton, going up against Alexis Cahill. Cahill, a sophomore for the Wolverines. He's got a 2-strike count. That one is low. Maybe 1 ball, 2 strikes. So for the Wolverines, Catherine Granada behind the plate. Sophomore Eve Clinton at first base. Brooke Benger at second. 3 sophomores right there. We saw them all last year as freshmen getting some serious time and doing a great job. Izzy Walsh at shortstop. One of the most talented players in the Tri-Valley League. Abby Johnson as well, third base. That's a sharply hit ball. That's going to get through the center. A run will score. And that's an RBI single for Daly, the pitcher, helping out the effort. And an RBI single. It's a plate Caliberti.
Some strong hitting early for Milton. RBI in already, but good fielding by the Wolverines there. Kept it in front of them and only holds the runner to first.
Yeah. And this is now Fish up at the plate, the catcher, who is one of 3 fishes on the team. So I'd imagine maybe potential triplets.
We'll have to do some digging and figure that out. But
3 fishes, so this is V Fish.
Family affair for the Milton.
Yes.
Often we see a lot of siblings on these teams that we cover here at Westwood.
Pitch from Cahill is a good-looking pitch called strike. Great pitch there on the outside corner.
I don't know if we've ever seen triplets.
I have not.
At Westwood, at least.
Well, there are the famous Fabiano triplets.
Of course,
but we didn't get to see them play. That is a sharply hit ball down the left field line. It is fair. Runner's got to work her way to third.
work its
And
way out.
Fish is going to go to second base as we're going to have a ground rule double on a sharply hit ball down the left field line. It basically was in play and then worked its way outside the fence, which is a ground rule double. So both runners will advance to third and second with no outs.
Yeah, Milton getting their bats moving early here, and if you're Cahill, the big thing is just settling down and focusing on this next batter. You got to pay attention, obviously, the runners on base, but just focus on the batter in front of you right now and getting that first out. That first out's going to be huge for momentum. Kind of settle in and get comfortable with this game.
That's a great looking pitch, Cahill, right down the middle. First pitch strike. Cahill throwing strikes. I mean, that's the key. You want to throw strikes and allow your defense to make some plays. But she's painting the corners very well. She's getting the corners as well. That's a ball hit towards Walsh. Glove on it, on to first. Gets the out. Clinton going to check in on third, and the runner is safe. Fish advances to third as Walsh gets the put out at first. That will score another run for Milton to go up 2-0. But you know what? You'll take the out.
Absolutely. There's an out there. Settles down a little bit. You now have a one out to go, and should be a bit, now you have a little bit of momentum going, and just focus on this next batter, and preventing damage. You have a runner in scoring position right now. You're only down 2-0. Still very manageable for the Wolverines. So, if you can get out of this inning, keeping it at 2 and keeping that runner at third, that's going to be huge.
No question. So S Fish is up at the plate, sister, I'm guessing, to V Fish. And then we have yet to see K Fish, who is going to be up in a couple batters as well.
If we get a couple Milton fans in this crowd, we'll have to ask, see if they have any intel. But
so S Fish, he's going to foul that one off. Looks like it's going to reach tennis courts. No, a little short.
No tennis games today.
No, everyone's
a little
safe.
practice going on though. So
I saw some hand tennis going on over there. A couple guys.
Perhaps a little extra.
No rackets, but had a ball.
Perhaps some extra work for the boys tennis team. It looks like it's not a formal practice. I haven't seen coach or anything.
That pitch is low. Great job by Granada keeping that in front of her, especially with the runner on third. Kept that in front of her, saves a run.
Yeah, that's going to be the thing for Granada right now. Keep it in front of you. Even if it goes just in front of you, but a little to the left or right, that's manageable. But if it gets past you, that runner, is in a great spot to advance to home and get a steal at home.
Ooh, off-speed pitch, just a little bit high, but love the speed on that one. That was a great pitch, just a little bit high, but to have that with the fastball, really good action.
Yeah.
So 3-ball, 2-strike count. That's on the ground. Walsh picks it onto first, gets the out. Another run will score, but that's 2 outs now. So the Wolverines now have 2 outs. Milton takes a 3-0 lead, but now Westwood able to settle down, able to get the outs, try and get out of the inning. You got to trust your at-bats too. Westwood very dangerous with bats in their hands. So,
absolutely.
It's sometimes the advantage of the away team to get off to that hot start, but I like Westwood at home. We've seen Westwood at home, and
absolutely.
They thrive at home.
When the Wolverines get the bats going, that can be huge for the team momentum. And we've seen them have innings where they've scored 3, 4, 5 runs just by getting their bats hot. So, really, it's early there as we get a high fly ball and a foul.
And that is caught by French, and that will end the inning. So half inning, Milton off to a quick start, 3-0. Wolverines gonna take their at-bats. Wolverines up to the plate. Leading off for the Wolverines is Catherine Granada, the catcher, sophomore. And that's a pitch outside. So Daly, the pitcher for Milton. She was active with the bat in her hand, had a nice single up the middle to score Caliberti. To start the runs for Milton, it's a swing and a miss from Granada. Even the count at 1 apiece. 1 ball, 1 strike. Evan Cardamino here, Morgan Donahue, Westwood Media Center coverage of Westwood Girls Softball. Non-league matchup here at, we'll call it Bridget Mulkeen Field.
Maybe the name will stick if we just keep calling it that.
We just state it into existence.
Yeah.
Why not?
Speak it into existence. Yeah.
We'll do that for multi-purpose. Start calling it Leslie Frank Field.
Sure.
That's a great cut there. Granada just missed on that one. And it was a great pitch too by Daly. So 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Well, Morgan, you're big with the nicknames, and you can give out nicknames and they tend to stick. So I'm sure field names are probably the same.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's many deserving people.
Of course.
You know,
of course.
especially ones that have had like changed the program or a long-lasting impact on a program.
Mm-hmm.
That pitch is high, and Granada gonna get on base. So that's what you need for the
huge.
Wolverines, is to get on base to get things started. So great eye by Catherine Granada, gets on base, which is gonna bring up Abby Johnson, senior captain for the Wolverines, 2-year captain for the Wolverines.
Yeah, that's the big thing, just getting on base. And
She's showing bunt, holds back. Granada looking to take it. She was taking a big lead there as if she was gonna go to second. I think she was trying to force a throw. Because you know
so.
what? There's a lot of overthrows, or you gotta be perfect with a lot of throws here in
Right.
softball.
Right.
And why not force it? That's a big swing and a miss. Love that cut, but just a little bit off is Johnson. I think she was swinging for the fences there.
I think so. I mean, you know, you get down 3-0 early and you want to, you know, get a comeback here. So swing for the fences, play a little angry.
That's a
Use
good
whatever
eye.
you can for motivation.
Yep. Good eye there by Johnson. Gonna be a 2-ball, 1 strike count. Another ball.
Wind's
Granada
starting to pick
really
up here.
catching the Milton Wildcats' attention there at first, taking big leads, secondary leads after each pitch. Pitch to Johnson. That catches the outside corner, so 2 strikes. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Brooke Benger on deck for the Wolverines. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. So Daly gets the strikeout and gets the first out for the Wildcats.
So Benger going to come up now and looking to build on that momentum. And I expect to see Granada continue to take that big lead there and try to draw the catcher to make a throw.
Oh, great pitch there by Daly. Nice low strike to get the first pitch strike. That's so key, getting that first pitch strike, getting off to some good momentum.
Yeah.
And gets a swing and miss there. So Daly bouncing back after a leadoff walk with some strong strikes. And gets the strikeout. So a three pitch strikeout. That is not easy to do.
No.
So 2 outs now. Coming to the plate for the Wolverines, Eve Clinton, the 4-hitter, playing first base, also a sophomore. She swings on that one. So of the first 4 batters, Evan, it goes sophomore, senior, sophomore, sophomore. So a lot of youth.
Yeah.
Granada taking a big lead after each pitch. I'd imagine she might give it a go, you know?
You know, now 2 outs in this inning here, you know, worth a shot to take a.
Yeah, I mean,
If
single.
if it's the right play, take a shot.
If you're on second base, single's going to score you, and that's a called strike. So 1 ball, 2-strike count to Clinton. Wildcats looking to get out of the inning unscathed. That's fouled off.
And that one
Clinton will
makes
stay
it to the
alive.
tennis court.
That one does reach the tennis court. Might be a little scuff on it. Pitch from Daly, fouled again. Nice battle going on here. As you can never underestimate a player that can continue to foul balls off. You're making that pitcher work even harder, and it tires them out.
Yeah.
And another foul ball by Clinton. So just getting additional pitches. Daly at 21 pitches right now, about 6 or 7 of them because of Clinton. That's a low one, and that's the thing too. Great eye by Clinton. So fouling off the close ones, and she's now worked her way into a 2-2 count. 2-2 pitch from Daly on the ground. That's a great stop by the catcher, Fish. Keep that in front and keep Granada at first.
Yeah, Granada's really making the catcher work for this. I mean, you know, she's taking leads every time and forcing the catcher. You see it. She pops right back up and she's ready to actually throw it to first, but Granada getting back, so a little bit of mind games going on right now on at first base.
Clinton again, she's had about 5 foul balls, and this has been about an 8-pitch at bat. Pitch number 9, fouled again. What a battle. What a battle. Daly who's only had one runner go on base, has now thrown 25 pitches in the first inning.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, when you get in a battle like this, that can happen, and you can work your pitch count up high.
And Clinton gets that one hopper right back to Daly. She'll throw on to first, and that is going to complete the first inning. So after one full inning, Milton 3, Westwood nothing.
I grew up right here in Islington, wearing the green and white for Westwood High. And those years taught me that every role matters. The unsung heroes, they complete the team. And that's at the heart of Neroli. From the cooks, to the servers, to the dishwashers, we're a team, delivering authentic Italian dishes to our community. I'm proud to sponsor our hometown teams, every player grinding it out, because I've been there. Teamwork built me. It built Neroli, and it's building Islington. So come join us for dinner, and let's cheer on our teams together.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Neroli Ristorante, authentically Italian. And Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Welcome back, folks. Milton right back to the plate. Scoreless bottom half of the inning for the Wolverines. That one is popped up. It's going to go over the backstop. Up for Milton is Scully, shortstop. I don't have first names, so apologies if anyone from Milton is tuning in. We do get a lot of viewers for these games, so I'd expect there'll be a couple Wildcats tuning in.
I'm sure.
They have, they've heard the buzz of Westwood Media Center and the millions of views we get, you know, and they're only human.
You know, we're only rivaled by ESPN.
Yes.
So.
That's the slogan, the worldwide #2 in sports. Westwood Media Center, as that's a leadoff hit there for Scully. And she'll get on at first with a leadoff hit. Nice hit right up the middle. Milton's been hitting some nice line drives, you know. They've been finding the gaps.
They've been getting great bats on the ball and getting balls in play. And even if they get a couple outs or singles, they've had great hitting.
That pitch is outside. I'm going to call it a strike. So strike called there with Catarulo, second basewoman up for Milton. And a swing and a miss. A little off-speed pitch there by Cahill. And we got an 0-2 count. Pitch from Cahill is low. Nice stop there by Granada. Kept that in front of her. Both catchers active early on here and doing a good job of keeping the ball in front of them.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a catcher's duel brewing here at
It hasn't been any bases advanced from pass balls yet. You know,
no.
Not trying to jinx right now, but very impressive so far as both teams have had runners on base.
Yeah.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, and Cahill gets the strikeout. Beautiful pitch by Cahill. Outside corner gets the strikeout and the first out for the Wolverines here in the top of the second.
Huge to get the first K and, you know, keep a runner, get an out that way. You know, it's huge momentum-wise. It kind of settles you in. You know, Milton's had a lot of great hitting this game.
Yep.
And they've been getting balls in play, but you're getting your outs that way through fielding. But to get a strike, it kind of settles you down as a pitcher, knowing, okay, I can get one of these guys, I can get the rest of them. So, you know, huge momentum swing for the Wolverines here.
So that's first pitch ball to Ahern, the 9-hitter, and that's a ripped on a right field. Thrown in by Tartufo. That's a great throw. Just a little bit off as the runners will advance to third and second, but tattooed by Ahern into right field. Advances the runners to second and third with 1 out. It's going to bring up the leadoff hitter in Calaberti. Calaberti, who is 1 for 1 on the day with a nice line drive hit in the first inning. Good job by Tartufo, though, to keep the runners on base. You know, it was a sharply hit ball that could have gone to the screen and making sure that there was no one scoring there. So first pitch Ball called. Nice bounce back pitch to get the strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike for Cahill. Caliberti, third base for the Wildcats. That one's on the ground. Second base. That's played by Benger on to first for the out. Run scores from third. So they'll add another run. Make it 4-0. But 2 outs for the Wildcats. It's going to bring up number 2, Daly, the pitcher. Daly RBI already today.
Yeah, she had a big hit in the first inning
She
there.
did.
And
She's showing bunt right now, trying to distract Cahill. Cahill throws a good pitch. I'm not sure if it was called strike or ball. School board is not on. We'll check the game changer. They're going to say strike. So strike by Cahill to Daly. And the second pitch fouled off to the backstop. Lefty on lefty matchup. You know, in baseball, it's tough for lefty hitters to hit lefty batters. I'd imagine probably a bit of the same in softball. You know, coming from that angle, that's a high fly ball, working its way to right field. Tartufo makes the catch, and that's going to end the inning. So Milton able to get a run to add to their total, up 4-0, and the Wolverines come into the plate. Bottom second inning. Izzy Walsh going to lead it off for the Wolverines. Evan, we've seen Izzy the last few years. One of the best softball players, you know, of the last, half decade or so.
yeah, she's a great hitter, a great fielder, one of the best players we've seen come through this program in quite some time, and she's going to be leading off the second inning here for the Wolverines, looking to help their case here, maybe get on base and put herself in scoring position for the next batter. So
she always has a great eye, a high eye on base percentage, gets the bat on the ball, can hit for power, can hit for speed, and you know what? Even though she's playing shortstop, which looks pretty darn impressive, she is one of the most talented catchers defensively we've seen over the last year. You know, with
Absolutely.
the one-hoppers and just being able to catch a lot of the fastballs that were coming from Mulkeen over those years.
Yep.
Pretty impressive.
Yep.
She deserves credit for a lot of, the great things that Mulkeen did over the years. Of it's kind of a team effort when it comes to pitching. Between the pitcher and the catcher. John Bertone for the boys, he calls the games, so he's the one. And that's a hit ball towards the field. It looks like it's going to land. It does. So Walsh going to get on base with a leadoff hit. And Evan, she is one of the most dangerous people on base because she gets a lot of attention.
We've seen her steal in the past and make some noise on the base. So
Yeah.
expect the catcher to keep an eye on her. And you saw Granada and the catcher
She
get
may
into
draw
a
a
bit of
throw, no
battle.
question. Yeah.
So I'd expect the same here.
Mia French up at the plate. She's going to show bunt fouls. Mia is playing left field today. She had a nice play in the field. And she's showing bunt, trying to get Walsh over to second base into scoring position. That's a swing and miss on that pitch. So a quick 0-2 count to French is exactly what Daly was looking for. Daly's been able to bounce back consistently so far, as this one's hitting the right field sharply and caught, and they're going to check in on first. Walsh back safely, but a nice play there by the right fielder, Hearn, to get onto that and make a nice catch and throw it on to first and keep that runner at bay. And Julia Tartufo now up, right fielder. She had a great bat a couple years ago when we were calling her in the outfield.
Absolutely.
She had a big time game in the TVL clinching win over Norwood. Swing and miss there. 0-2 count. Daly really settling in after giving up hits in the first inning, second inning. They really get aggressive on getting ahead on those counts. That one is low and going to be a ball.
Yeah, she's doing a great job of, the first batter usually has gotten on base so far the first 2 innings, but after that, settling in and just not letting it get to her, locking back in and, getting back an advantage for our team.
That's
and getting
going
our
to
team
be
off the
swing and
field.
miss. So that is the second out for the Wolverines, and it's going to bring up the pitcher, Alexis Cahill. Your first pitch ball. So Cahill going to get the opportunity to help out her effort with the bat in her hand. Cahill, a true lefty. Lefty pitcher, lefty hitter. Sometimes we see a lefty thrower and a righty hitter,
Yep.
you know. That's a swing and miss. Even the count at 1 apiece. Let's see if we see Walsh going. Potentially just trying to take that risk of getting a runner there, even if it risks potentially getting out at second, but
I mean, at some point you do have to take the gamble here.
you
if
do.
you're
You know,
gonna
you're
be
down
in that
4-0. It
situation.
is
Yeah.
early. Obviously, plenty of game left, but it's kind of tone setting. You know,
Yeah.
when you take some risks like that.
Absolutely. I mean, at some point you're gonna have to if you know if you're gonna have these sort of this trend continue of one batter starting and
That one's on the ground, third base, one hop onto first, gets the out. Sharp play there by Caliberti, and that is the third out of the inning, and that will end the second inning. So after 2, Milton 4, Westwood nothing.
I grew up right here in Islington, wearing the green and white for Westwood High. And those years taught me that every role matters. The unsung heroes, they complete the team. And that's at the heart of Neroli. From the cooks, to the servers, to the dishwashers, we're a team, delivering authentic Italian dishes to our community. I'm proud to sponsor our hometown teams, every player grinding it out, because I've been there. Teamwork built me. It built Neroli, and it's building Islington. So come join us for dinner, and let's cheer on our teams together.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Neroli Ristorante, authentically Italian. And Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
So Fish gonna lead it off from Milton. Top 3 here. Evan Cardamino, Morgan Donahue. And Cahill back. My mound, that is a very far hit ball. That is foul. My goodness, that went off one of the trees, and that might be on Thatcher Street.
I think so. That was quite the hit
That was
by
a
Fish. Oh my.
towering foul.
If that was towards us, I think that would have been clear to the street.
That might have cleared the fence, the fence.
I think it would have been on Manhattan Street.
That's a ball low. Nice off-speed pitch though by Cahill. Change it up a little, you know, keep the batter on her toes. Ball outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to V. Fish, the catcher, number 16 for the Wildcats. She's been very impressive behind the dish. That ball is just a bit outside, so 3 balls and 1 strike. Hear a lot of chat out of the Wolverines in the field. Love to see that, you know, keeps them engaged. And also, you know, very supportive of their pitcher. Love to see that. Pitchers, you know, playing baseball myself, Evan, growing up, as a pitcher, you hear that. You hear it when your parents or your teammates and your coach is got your back, supportive and whatnot. It's awesome to see. Well, full count. That is a towering fly ball right around second base, and nice play there by Benger. That is not an easy play to make, having to go backwards, and makes that one look routine, and that is the first out here in the top of the 3rd. Pretty impressive play there. And you got to go backwards and track it when your head's kind of shaking, especially on these fields. It's not even surface.
No. You have the wind
It
working
was a
right
high
now.
ball too. I mean, we saw the foul ball by Fish, and that was a high one as well.
I expect to see her to continue to get good hits in this game if we in the future innings as well, because She can hit it, she can throw it, you know, at the catcher's mound. You can see her. She has a bit of heat to her throwing, so, you know, keep an eye on her.
Nice pitch by Cahill. Gets fouled off by S-Fish, a center fielder. Let's see if we get a names for, it just says S-Fish on the Game Changer app. Yeah, so it's just one initial for the first name for Milton. So apologies for Milton, we've got one initial and a last name, but that's a called strike for Fish. As Cahill has a 1 ball, 2 strike count. That pitch is into left field. French gets under it, makes the play. Nice play there by Mia French.
Absolutely.
So much versatility from this Wolverines team. We've seen French at second. We've seen Granada at second. She's behind the plate. You know, French obviously in left field. Izzy Walsh, I didn't say Hansen. Izzy Walsh at shortstop, who's, been a catcher the last 2 years. It's great to see. I mean, it's a strength when you have that versatility the way they do. And then you got also now Cahill as a pitcher who's, doing awesome out there. On top of Tartufo as well, who's a great pitcher. Johnson jumps in front of that and gets the out. So a nice clean inning for the Wolverines. 1, 2, 3. They get out of the top of the third and they'll get their at-bats. And we'll take a quick break. Welcome back, folks. Julia Raffoni leading off for the Wolverines, and we got some names for Milton, so we're getting sharper each inning. I was already apologizing to the Wildcat fans, the millions and millions that are tuning in. As Raffoni, the center fielder for your Wolverines, took a call strike. It looks like a 0-2 count for Raffoni. Shout out Jess Clinton. She's been helpful getting the updated names for Milton, as that one's grounded out second and leadoff out for Milton. That's the first one of the game, as Wolverines were able to get on the leadoff hitter in the first inning and then the second inning. Just going to bring up the top of the order. Catherine Granada, the catcher, takes a first pitch ball. Granada, very impressive behind the dish so far today. And that is a nice pitch there by Daly. Zaria Daly. And gets the call strike back to back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Daly battling back in after a first pitch ball. A nice cut there by Granada to stay alive. Dad, Rich Granada, great guy. He's part of the Mays Bowling League for many years before Norwood shut down. That's a nice eye there by Granada. Evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That'd be fun to cover bowling.
Oh yeah, we should have done a Monday night there.
Maybe.
That would have been classic. That's a strikeout there by Daly. Nice pitch there to get the second out. Hard fastball at the called third strike. Just going to bring up Abby Johnson, third base for your Wolverines. Abby fouls that one off to the backstop. Abby, she has been a massive player for the Wolverines. And she, Evan, when I think of Abby, I think of, she had the clinching out for the Wolverines becoming TVL champs a couple years ago. And that ground ball to third base, she made that nice throw at Morrison Park, and history was made. I think it was 41 years, 42 years since Westwood had won a TVL title in softball.
41.
41.
Yep.
And Abby was, part of history, making that put out.
The one previous was 1983.
Yeah.
And 2024, most recent TVL championship for this Wolverines team.
Abby checking the swing. The umpire will check with the umpire down at first. He said no swing, so that will be a ball. Good job by Abby. Discipline on that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A chopper down the first base line. Abby running on to first, and she gets there safely. Johnson with the infield single gets on board. That's what the Wolverines need.
Absolutely, and great by Abby Johnson. And not, sometimes when you shoot a ball down the first base line, you kind of give up a little bit. You're like, they're going to get there, but that's why you go full speed every time, because
Yes.
Milton just hesitated a little bit there. They just hesitated on that throw, and it was just enough for Abby Johnson to get there in time. So huge play.
Vital as a captain too, setting that leadership for the youngsters of running out everything.
Yeah.
So tremendous example there by Abby, sprinting that out, getting there in time, and you never know. You get a gapper, she could score from first.
Absolutely.
It's just a great example to set. There's Brooke Benger up at the plate. She's got 2 strikes. 0-2 pitch from Daly is low. Fish able to stay in front of that one. Victoria Fish, nice job. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now 2-2. Wolverines have been doing good at watching close pitches, and ensuring that they're getting more pitches out of Daly. Daly at 60 pitches already.
And we're only in the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's been
It's a lot of pitches for having a shutout right now.
Yeah.
That one is popped up. It is in play. Catcher looking to make it, and Fish does. That'll be the 3rd out. That will end the 3rd inning. So after 3, Milton 4, Westwood nothing.
I grew up right here in Islington, wearing the green and white for Westwood High. And those years taught me that every role matters. The unsung heroes, they complete the team. And that's at the heart of Neroli. From the cooks, to the servers, to the dishwashers, we're a team, delivering authentic Italian dishes to our community. I'm proud to sponsor our hometown teams, every player grinding it out, because I've been there. Teamwork built me. It built Neroli, and it's building Islington. So come join us for dinner, and let's cheer on our teams together.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Neroli Ristorante, authentically Italian. And Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Top 4, Wolverines back on the field. They are still trailing 4-0 to the Milton Wildcats. And had a 1-2-3 inning last time out in the field, looking to repeat that. That is a ball hit to second base, on to first, and that's how you want to start your inning, Evan.
That's
As Catherine Fish put out at first. A nice ground ball played by, looked like it was Brooke Benger.
But yeah, that's how you want to start an inning. If you can get an out off of 1 pitch, that's huge for your pitch count.
Absolutely. Get off that nice momentum to start the inning. It's not just that translates when you have the bat in your hand too. So getting a 1-2-3 inning has always been a beneficial way to really start to get your bats going. The first pitch is a ball. That's a strike played by Johnson, and clean throws onto first. We've seen all strikes so far by the Wolverines on their throws to first. Johnson doing a good job. I mean, that's a long throw, and when they see that ball heading their way, they creep in a couple steps to really cut off some time.
Absolutely.
So that was a quick in the glove onto first, in less than a second. A bunt as Cahill planted, throw onto first is not in time, and that is a bunt single for Catarulo, second baseman. Caterzulo, excuse me, Mia Caterzulo. The second base, and she's on board with two outs. And Daly up the middle, and Izzy Walsh gloving that and stepping on the bag, and that wasn't a 1-2-3 inning, but felt like one with how quick that was. So the Wolverines gonna go right back to the plate. Bottom four, we'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. Bottom four, Wolverines up at the plate. Eve Clinton leading it off. She had a great battle in her first at-bat. It was like a 10-pitch at-bat, really making Daly labor. That is fouled off, gonna land just in front of the Milton dugout area. So 1-ball, 1-strike count for Clinton. That is gonna be low, just misses hitting her feet. When I think softball, I think of the Clinton family, Evan. You know, I lived in the Maze, they live in the Maze, and would always see them in softball uniforms coming and going from games. Didn't matter if it was spring or summer. And big on the sign-ups involved in Westwood Youth Softball. Like they are, and the Johnsons as well, I would put up there. I know Tartufo, Paul Tartufo. They are major contributors and reasons for Westwood Softball success. Absolutely. And the enrollment. It's been outstanding.
Never forget Brian's winning that raffle on that night.
Yes, before Eve was even in high school, he was winning the raffle on the senior night, senior night.
Yeah, it was
the
senior night
TVL clinching game.
At Morrison Park. He was
Evan's like, who's this cartoon?
It was the first time I had met him, and I look over and he's doing his celebratory walk over there, and stuck with me. But
so Clinton grounds out, and that'll be the first out, which will bring up Izzy Walsh to the plate. Izzy made the last out in the field, stepping on the bag. Nice play and heads up play, knowing, hey, got the bag right there. You beat the runner and the inning. Walsh fouls that one off to the backstop. A 1-ball, 1-strike count. Good crowd here today.
Yeah.
The weather's not half bad.
Weather's not bad. It's the Friday before Patriots Day. A lot of people have a 3-day weekend, so great way to start your weekend here.
Not me. You?
No, I do. Yes, Westwood Media Center is closed.
That ball is working its way to right field and caught. Great play there by Mia Caterzulo. That's not an easy. She covered a lot of ground to get there.
She was also at a little bit of an off angle as well. I mean, she had to actually twist her body back to get that catch.
Easier to go on your, to go on your natural hand versus your backhand.
Right.
That is a rip heading our way. But making it look routine is Sophie Fish. That looked like it had potential for the fence, but Sophie Fish, my goodness, tracks that down, makes a great play, and that is going to end the 4th inning. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Westwood Media Center coverage of Westwood Softball.
I grew up right here in Islington, wearing the green and white for Westwood High. And those years taught me that every role matters. The unsung heroes, they complete the team. And that's at the heart of Neroli. From the cooks, to the servers, to the dishwashers, we're a team, delivering authentic Italian dishes to our community. I'm proud to sponsor our hometown teams, every player grinding it out, because I've been there. Teamwork built me. It built Neroli, and it's building Islington. So come join us for dinner, and let's cheer on our teams together.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Neroli Ristorante, authentically Italian. And Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Welcome back, folks. Milton back at the plate, top 5. Very fast game so far. As that is sharply hit, going to be fouled down the right field line. Up at the plate is the leadoff hitter, Mia Caliberti. She's been very busy today. That was a sharply hit ball, just foul. And that's a ball heading our way, and it's going to land in the gap. Tartufo going to throw it into second. Is trying to get into second and get in safely is Caliberti, and she'll get on base with a lead-off double. So Caliberti said her name a bunch. She's got her name all over the scorebook. Leads off the top of the fifth with a lead-off double. Going to bring up the number 2 hitter, the pitcher, Zaria Daly. Daly is settled in nicely. He's been pitching pretty darn good.
Yeah.
You know, and hasn't given up a run. She's thrown a lot of pitches because Westwood's been doing a good job being patient, fouling off a lot of pitches, battling. That ball is fouled off. Johnson able to get, had the glove on it, but unable to squeeze it. That was tough because she was going up against the pitching
gear,
the netting, yeah.
There's a little bit of netting there where you can practice. Some of the batters have been practicing their hitting off of a tee there, and I think she just held up just a little bit to avoid running into the air. Not to mention on that side of the field, if you notice when we pan over during the games, there's concrete. There's like a concrete brick wall, and you don't want to run into that, obviously. So hesitated a little bit.
It looks like so. I see Coach talking to the umpire, so there might be a question in terms of the ground rules. So we'll see what comes from it. Umpire's talking to the Milton coach, and it looks like just probably some kind of confirmation around the ground rules. So that might have been a dead ball because it's where even if you catch it over there, and that one's hit sharply, heading towards center field, and that's going to drop. Working her way to third base is Caliberti. Daly looking to work a pickle on first to try and get Caliberti to score from third, but great heads-up play by the Wolverines. They weren't biting on that.
Well, she held it too, because if you hold it, you advance that runner to second, and then if you, on the off chance of an errant pitch, you have that runner going home. So it's a smart play to hold it there and walk it in and avoid a situation. Much more manageable first and third situation versus having 2 runners in scoring position.
Yep, Victoria Fish, she hit one off to Thatcher Street that was foul. They're going to check it on second, on to home, and that is wide. Working her way to third base is Daly on the overthrow. So smart play by Milton. They were able to elicit a throw, which was a little bit off, and then able to not only get the run but advance the runner to third who was on first.
It wasn't too wildly off though. I mean,
no, it's just off enough, and that's the thing about these games, are fractions.
Yep.
Pitch from Cahill is called ball. But Fish, we saw her hit a foul ball at, saying Thatcher Street. It was towering. And then she had a towering ball in the outfield that was caught. Right to Johnson, makes a nice play. Milton able to send the runner from third. But great play by Johnson. That was hit very hard. She got the glove on that. Quick throw to first, and Clinton, heads up, was checking in at home as the third base runner. Daly was trying to score and was able to get across home plate successfully to take a 6-0 lead. That was the first out, so 1 out with no runners on board, as the Wolverines will have some homework to do here in the top of the fifth. Looking to get out of this inning without any additional runs and just be able to chip away.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing here is just minimizing damage and getting out of this inning. There's still plenty of softball left, and we've seen teams, have a scoring barrage in just an inning itself. So anything can happen here. There's still plenty of time left in this game, but first step is getting out of this inning here, as that's fouled off back behind the storage sheds, or I should say shipping containers rather. But
they basically are shipping containers that are used for the storage. They can put up with a lot being here in the Northeast. Seasonality in the winter, and that's a nice play by Walsh to throw on to first, just a little bit behind, but what a play. She got that in the hole. Strong throw on to first, and the runner was able to get that one by. I mean, if she got that out, that might have been play of the year.
Yeah, it was a great throw, and it's just a hair late, but
Nomar Garcia-Parra-esque right there.
absolutely. But yeah, I mean, great throw.
And the runner is going to go. Runner stealing. Throw onto second is not in time. So a stolen base.
Oh.
As the ball gets away and the runner advances. So a stolen base and then an advance
Caught us all
by
off
the
guard
runner
there.
by
But-
Sophie Fish.
Heads up play by Sophie Fish there, you know. Heads up play. I mean,
Center fielder.
yeah. Keep your eye on everything. If they aren't paying attention, you know, catch them sleeping. And
Sophie, obviously the sister to Victoria Fish. But Sophie had that great play in center field, tracking that ball
Yeah.
down. That was, I thought, a ball that had eyes for the fence.
it's clear the Fish family in Milton is a softball family through
Yeah,
and through.
no question about it.
Three.
I imagine they
Fishes on
take
this.
some ground balls in the backyard, you know.
I imagine they all, you know, practice together in the
Oh, yeah.
backyard as growing up. And
They hit up the fields.
yep.
You get a bucket. Everyone's got a bucket. You know you're big into baseball if you got a bucket of balls at the
Yep.
house. Dad, mom and dad pitching some batting practice.
Absolutely.
That's what it's all about. You know, when people make it to the professional leagues, it's because they had a great team around them of, you know, parents, siblings, coaches. You talk about, that's a strikeout, so the Wolverines get the, oh no, it's a walk, excuse me. That is a walk, so getting on first base. The walk is McGettrick, a left fielder. You see like Bryce Harper, you know, his dad
Yeah.
pitching over the home run derby. We're going to look to steal second. They'll get there without a throw.
It was a smart play that time by Granada. You know, the last time that happened, we saw the runner run in and score, but held on it there, forces the runner at third to stay. And, you know, Milton's getting aggressive with their stealing now here in the fifth. I mean, we've seen a few steals now, and they're kind of forcing Westwood to, you know, play their best here.
Only one out here, so they got 2 ducks on the pond. They're looking to get those across the board to really kind of open up this game. Catherine Fish fouls that off to the right side, out of play. Works his way on the tennis court. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out, runners on third and second. Evan and I were smart today. We got chairs, lawn chairs today.
I think it's going to have to be a staple. I mean, you know, we're out in these games in the baseball field, multi-purpose, softball field. You know, we stand the entire time, but
Evan's on the wrong side of 25. I'm on the wrong side of 35. And the body just doesn't bounce back like it used to if,
No.
if you're on your feet for a long period of
I
time.
understand. You got the rocking
I do.
chair,
I wasn't
too.
messing around. That's a sharply hit ball. Johnson gets a glove on it, throwing home. And that is safe. It wasn't a, and that's 2 runs will score. So the throw to home, I don't think it was a forced play.
It wasn't.
It had to tag. So the throw, the umpire immediately said safe.
It wasn't a forced play because you didn't have a runner at first. You only had him
Yeah.
at second and third. So
Yep.
both runners could have held and
Yep.
held it to a single there. So it's not a forced
Well, I like
play.
what head's at. You want to keep that runner, you know, safe, or you want to keep that runner at check. You don't want any. So they needed a tag there, but they're going to talk through this.
Yeah, you know, it's time to, you know, for coach, it's, you know, got to settle the players down. You know,
Yeah.
you don't want them to get this inning 2 away from them. That's, I believe, 4 runs this inning now. It puts them at 8-0.
Yep.
So, you know, just settle your players down. Focus on getting this next out and focus on just, you know, the batter in front of you. You have 1 on second now, so only 1 runner in scoring position, but you want to try to minimize the damage as much as possible here and get into the bottom of the 5th.
Yep.
But just settle in and, you know, play your game.
Great pitch there by Cahill. Catch the outside part of the strike zone. Had some gas on that one. That was a good-looking pitch. That ball popped up. Cahill gonna get under it. She makes the play, gets the second out.
And just like that, that's how you settle your game down and, you know,
Yeah.
focus on the batter in front of you. Get that next out. You know, now we're at 2 outs. You have a little bit more of an advantage and, you know, yeah, you have a runner in scoring position, but you're still in an okay spot right now.
Yeah. You got the runner at second base, 2 outs. Nia Catazulo up at the plate, second baseman. Pitch from Cahill. It's a little bit low. Good job by Granada, keeping that in front. One ball, no strikes. That's a great pitch by Cahill. Gets a swing and miss. I like the activeness of the Wolverines. They are checking in on second after every pitch. They got the backup too, so Raffoni there in case there's an overthrow. You're seeing Benger there also, making sure that if they're gonna throw it, someone there covering the bag. Pitch just outside.
And Milton's done a good job too of kind of forcing Westwood to play that way. You know, they've had some great opportunities come off of steals there. So if you get one behind you, expect 17 to steal from Milton.
Pitch from Cahill, swing and a miss again. So great pitches by Cahill on this at bat after making a nice play, fielding a pop-up. One ball, two strike pitch, fouled. Just off to the right-hand side. Cahill's been very solid.
Yeah.
You know, just lefty pitcher. It's a great asset to have in the arsenal. You add that with Tartufo too, like sophomore. It's really a bright future ahead for these Wolverines. Pitcher, it's important to have a pitcher who can battle out there, throw some strikes. She's a lefty at bat too. Granada checking in. Love every time she's faking the throw. You know, it's love the compete level.
Yeah.
Takes after her father. Rich was a heck of a bowler. Candlepin bowling. Popular only in Coindon, New England. Candlepin bowling.
Absolutely.
And it's gonna be ball 4. And
You
taking first base is Catazulo.
prefer Candlepin over standard, or?
You know what? I like both.
Both.
I do like the 10-pin.
Okay.
Because there's nothing like a true strike.
Right.
But a candlepin strike, until you've gotten one, talk to me. Because those are magnificent. Those are hard to do.
When you bowl, do you do the standard?
I do a little spin.
A little spin?
A little spin. I do a little spin. You got to. I mean, that's going to help your rates for a strike. Because you can get a strike if you're just a little bit right of the head pin, or if you're just a little bit left. So I've seen both.
Well, the oil pattern on the lane is what helps. You know, I've seen a lot of professional bowlers. Pete Weber would always study the oil on the way they oil the wood on the lane, because that can determine where you want to hit it. If you hit it at a certain point, your ball will curve back in. So if you want to, when you watch a lot of professional bowling.
Oh, that was a high fly ball. Center field, Raffoni going to get under it, and she makes the play for the 3rd out. So that will end the top of the 5th. Milton able to get a few more as they take an 8-0 lead. Bottom 5, the Wolverines leading off is Julia Tartufo. She had some massive doubles in the TVL clinching game a couple years ago. Her and Bella Gentile.
Yeah, so looking to maybe recapture some of that magic here in the bottom of the 5th and help the Westwood effort.
Yep.
Get a couple runs on the board.
Game is 8-0 Milton. You know, it's going to be a tough effort to get back in it, but what are some good takeaways you can take? You know, it starts with getting some runners on and getting some runners across. That's a ball outside. 2 balls, no strikes to Tartufo. Daly has been very impressive for Milton.
A lot
been
of
able to battle back in. Yeah, ton of pitches. 75 pitches.
75, okay.
And
I would have told you it was higher,
yeah.
but she's battled all day today, so.
Still got that velocity on the fastball.
Yeah.
That is a hit down the right field line, and it's going to go foul off the fence. How many of those did we see over the years with Malkeen? You know, had a bunch of players that couldn't keep up with the fastball, and the only chance they had of getting it on would be down that right field line.
Yep.
Usually off the fence foul. That's a pitch called strike. So That's what we've been seeing from Daly. You know, she could start off with 2 balls, but she battles right back to even the count.
Yeah, Daly doesn't let a bad situation get her down, and she stays calm and collected under pressure, especially, seen a couple batters get on early and battles
that's
right
gonna
back.
be strike 3. Oh, excuse me, with new hitter. So I didn't know.
It was already. It was
I didn't know it was a strikeout for Tartufo. So
Cahill on now.
Cahill up, and she takes 2 quick strikes. I'm asleep at the wheel over here, Evan. What is going on?
A little too comfortable in the chair, huh?
Yeah, yes, right? You gotta stand back up.
No, you're good.
That's a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Daly.
Yeah, 2 quick strikeouts. Daly looking to get out of this inning and get her team back on the back at the plate.
So Julia Raffoni, center fielder, up at the plate. Ball inside. Raffoni making some nice plays in the field. Nice cut there. The longer the game has gone on, the better the weather's gotten.
I can't complain. It's going to make maybe it'll be fully sunny here by the time we're done, and it'll be warmed up a bit. I know you have your
I got my hockey coat on.
Your hockey hoodie on too, from
Natalie.
From Natalie.
I told her I was going to wear it for a week. I'm on day 3.
And you have. I can attest. He really has worn it every day. I've seen him so far.
I've gotten a lot of people that have said they want one. So I think Natalie's got to, and that's going to be strike 3 to end the inning. So striking out the side is Daly, the bottom of the 5th. So very impressive effort by Daly, adding here to the bottom of the 5th. And we'll take a quick break. Westwood, you're watching Westwood Girls Softball on Westwood Media Center. Milton up 8-0.
I grew up right here in Islington, wearing the green and white for Westwood High. And those years taught me that every role matters. The unsung heroes, they complete the team. And that's at the heart of Neroli. From the cooks, to the servers, to the dishwashers, we're a team, delivering authentic Italian dishes to our community. I'm proud to sponsor our hometown teams, every player grinding it out, because I've been there. Teamwork built me. It built Neroli, and it's building Islington. So come join us for dinner, and let's cheer on our teams together.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Neroli Ristorante, authentically Italian. And Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Top 6, Milton coming back to the plate. They have taken a commanding 8-0 lead. They had a 1-2-3 inning with Westwood at the plate, all 3 strikeouts. So, I mean, Daly has gotten stronger as the game has gone on.
Past couple innings for Milton at the plate, they've gotten stronger, and also on defense, they've had a couple quick innings here for them. And like you mentioned, Daly's gotten better as the game's progressed, which oftentimes you see the opposite.
It's been
Pitchers
very
get
impressive.
tired, but she's had a great game.
We got a local legend with us right now, folks. We got Nikki Delaney, class of 99?
Yes.
99. Year after Joe Vinci, 98. Evan Yarian, 99 as well? 2000. Was his brother 99?
98.
98, okay. I got him surrounded. Well, folks, big golf tournament coming next Friday. Sports community, as that one's fouled off on the right-hand side. The Westwood Athletic Alumni Golf Tournament. All the proceeds from that tournament go to Westwood Sports. So one of the things that was purchased or acquired from the fundraising last year was the scores table. And it definitely was an upgrade.
It's a fun tournament too to go to.
It is.
I know you'll be there, Morgan, as part of the Alumni Association. I'll be there taking photos.
It's awesome.
It's always a fun day.
Last year we saw, so Greg Warren had a foursome in there, and then they were the 80s. Mike Shea. And then we saw the 90s. Saw Harrington, who was a 93 grad. We saw some mid 90s grads, some late 90s. 2000 Fabiano, 2005 Laham, and then we even saw like Brett Hetnick, 2015, and then some guys who were like 2020. And it's like, when you think about all those different eras and the amazing teams, championships, it's really cool to get everyone together, for a day.
It's a great day. You know, it's going to, you know, Westwood Sports, something we're all connected to in one way, shape, or another, and supporting these kids and, you know, providing resources for them to build the skills they build with team sports. So it's a great thing to give back to the community. I know you do a lot with that. So it's always a fun day, and, you know, nothing better than on a nice spring Friday to go outside and play some golf.
Runner's going, and check in on second, and not in time. That was a good throw by Granada. That was a nice pick by Izzy Walsh. Just, it was a great run.
Yeah,
not in
Milton.
time by Mia Caliberti, the stolen base.
Milton has chosen to play a little more aggressive here
Big
late.
time.
It's been working for them as a strategy.
Well, that
That's
is ripped. That is heading towards the fence. One hops the fence. French gonna throw it in. A 1-run scores, and standing up at second base is Zaria Daly, the pitcher. She's been all world today. We've seen what she's been doing on the mound, but terrific at the plate. And it looks like she is, timeout, is she gonna get a courtesy run or no? She's gonna stay out there. I love to see that. You know, we've seen it where you can get a courtesy runner for the pitcher. I love that when the pitcher's like, nah, I'm good, I'm running.
Yeah, I like it. Stay on the, you know. Mulkeen always
Until
did that.
they dive in head first at home.
Yeah, and
know?
the coach isn't too happy about that. But
No.
you know, great hit by Daly.
Victoria Fish, that's a sharply hit ball. Walsh able to get in front of it, throw on to first. In time! Izzy Walsh, what a play. Tough kid. That took a hard bounce the last minute, so it went off her. She kept it in front of her, got the hand on it. Quick throw to first. She is okay. Got the out. What an out by Izzy Walsh.
Yeah, huge play by Izzy Walsh there at shortstop. And, you know, that's what you need if you're the Wolverines. Now we're going to have a mound visit here for Cahill and Granada. But, you know, they're going to strategize. They're going to keep an eye on Daly there on the mound. She's going to look to steal. And but, no, huge play by Izzy Walsh. Help keep the Wolverines in this. You know,
The run did score, so that puts Milton up 9-0. So something to keep an eye on. You know, if they get to the 10 runs, does that end the game?
I'm not 100% sure.
Because this is top
I
6.
believe it is. At this inning, it would be a...
And that's a sharply hit ball as Raffoni gets the glove on it. What a play. She's going to check in at second base. Double play. Raffoni to French. What a play to end the inning. And that will create some momentum. My goodness. Raffoni on the catch. Great throw to second base, doubling off and gets them out of the inning. And they'll go up to the plate, bottom 6. So after 5.5, Milton 9, Westwood's got some work left to do, 0. The Wolverines gonna have their at-bats here. Bottom of the 6. What a way to end the top of the 6. Double play ball, sharply hit ball. Raffoni made the catch on to second to French to tap the bag. And that was awesome to see. You know, those are exciting plays. It's not just the hitting that gets you excited, it's some great fielding plays.
Yeah, I mean, you want to see good fielding out of this team, and you want to see, you know, some positive signs. That's definitely one of them.
Westwood showing bunt. That is a ball. That's a good eye there by Catherine Granada. That's called strike.
Showing bunt again there.
2 balls and 1 strike to Granada. As Daly up to 86 pitches today. That is low, maybe 3 balls. But it's funny, Nikki, just seeing some of these fields and thinking what they used to be in the old high school, you know? Yeah, this is a parking lot. And these kids don't know what it was like having the carnival here in town. You know, with the bus, you knew when the buses moved that something good was happening. And the buses were essentially where like the football field is. And that's a swing and a miss. That's a strikeout for Daly. But the high school used to be essentially kind of right here and just to the left. And they had the entrance. You actually can tell by this, the old brick entrance. That was the, it looks like it's part of the softball field, but that was the entrance to the school and like the driveway. So that was where you would come in, and then I don't know if it was, you know, back in your day, but we used to park on the grass, like up on the side, because there was just not enough parking spots. Did you ever, I mean, we've been long removed now where you can admit, did you ever leave for lunch?
I was never allowed to.
It was never allowed to, but we would get a, you know, a lunch at,
Detentions in lieu of suspension?
Yeah. We would go out, for a nice lunch, come back, and now they're able to do it.
We may have come in late.
We're like the firstborn where like they don't allow us, but then the babies, they allow us to do everything we weren't allowed to do. But that was the thing, leaving for lunch, it's like go with your buddies and you grab a quick lunch, come back. It's like, oh, I feel like the best. That's a swing and a miss there. That's 2 outs, so that's a strikeout. That will bring up Brooke Benger, sophomore. Been very impressive in the field.
Any specific lunch spot you used to go to?
We go to Norwood. It was always
Norwood.
Norwood, yeah. Grab like, a sour, or we go to Christie's, and then play a little Keno. Keno was the big thing back then.
All my guys went to Ann's lunch.
Oh my God, don't get me started with Ralphie.
Yep.
Ralphie, absolute gem. That is vintage.
Diner was our spot.
That was a great spot. It's still around, I believe.
It is?
Yeah, always been a popular athlete spot. Like, to take the team, go together. And Legacy Place, remember when it was just a movie theater and Chili's?
Yep.
That is fouled off. But that was the thing to do on Friday nights, is go to Chili's and then go to a movie with your friends.
Sure was.
That was the hot ticket in town. Go to Chili's and then a movie.
Nothing wrong with that.
And it was a movie theater where Legacy is, and it was just a massive parking lot. Massive. That is a sharply hit ball. The Fish is going to get under that, and that is a 1-2-3-6 inning.
I grew up right here in Islington, wearing the green and white for Westwood High. And those years taught me that every role matters. The unsung heroes, they complete the team. And that's at the heart of Neroli. From the cooks, to the servers, to the dishwashers, we're a team, delivering authentic Italian dishes to our community. I'm proud to sponsor our hometown teams, every player grinding it out, because I've been there. Teamwork built me. It built Neroli, and it's building Islington. So come join us for dinner, and let's cheer on our teams together.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Neroli Ristorante, authentically Italian. And Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Top 7. Milton up 9-0. It's been a very productive day for them, but a lot of good things still to see us out of the Wolverines. A lot of patience. They got Daly to throw a lot of pitches. They've been battling, making some solid plays in the field. So, the score not indicative of, the effort put forth by the Wolverines, as they're looking to get out of this one and be able to chip away and do what they can to get on the scoreboard. That's a first pitch called ball.
Absolutely, yeah. A lot of building things you can do on for this team. This is first year under new head coach Caroline Mitchell, so a lot.
Oh, nice off-speed pitch there by Cahill. She's got the batter fooled on that swing.
A lot that this team is learning and kind of adjusting to and picking up. So a lot of things you can build on here in this season early on and
Absolutely.
Work on.
Another great off-speed pitch by Cahill. 2 in a row. The sophomore, and you're getting a sophomore who's getting more and more experience versus a good team.
Yep.
The sophomore class, very impressive. Highlighted Eve Clinton, big season she had this year in basketball. And that's a swing and a miss strikeout. Nice strikeout there by Cahill. And you got to give credit, these young kids who are on the basketball team, learning a bunch from Nikki Delaney, and they battled.
Yeah.
Got the playoff win too. It was awesome.
They did.
At home, awesome to see. That first pitch was a ball. That one just missed, so 2 balls, no strikes. Up at the plate, it looks like it's Catherine Fish, first baseman, 6-hitter. That one is a high fly ball. Work its way to the gap and it lands. And they're gonna just stay at first as Fish, as that one kind of just found its way to the gap area and not enough real estate to get there in time.
Yeah.
It's the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, it landed right in that gap, but it landed in an ideal spot for the Wolverines where you can hold that runner at first, you know, and you're not going to get to second in that spot, so not the worst place to find in the field, but, you know, still have a runner on first now.
You're talking about some Mays athletes with Nikki Delaney, obviously Eve Clinton, Lutz as well, Lutz, and that's a sharp hit ball, that is foul. Gilmore as well in the Mays.
Yes.
Great athlete. Reese Lipton, yes, yes. Some great water in the Maze. But it's funny, I mean, when we grew up and we went through that neighborhood, everyone was on bikes, and it's the same exact thing, it's the same exact today as it was then. As that ball gets away and runner will advance to second base. Do you have, when you are behind the bench or when you're in the gym, does it bring back old memories?
Every day.
Yeah,
Great memories.
yeah. You ever picture that old Wolverine painted up on the wall in the gym?
I know
That's
what
a
you're
nice
talking
picture.
about.
It did.
Wolverine, yes.
It did look like a badger.
I've seen that in a couple of the Westwood High School Classics
Yeah,
tapes.
so
that
Evan
old
has his hand
Wolverine.
on.
The old wood bleachers.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. And they had both sides.
Yep.
So they would come out behind the bench, yeah. Now during games, would those come out behind the bench?
We sat on those, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you sat on.
Didn't have chairs back then.
Now, would people sit behind them or, yeah?
Yep.
How do you like
So
that? Is that something we should bring back?
Nope.
No. I kind of do like
Only if
how,
there's a big crowd.
I do like how the players have that side. You know what I mean? Especially for like, you know, just coaches talking and, you know, some room to
Absolutely.
not feeling claustrophobic and whatnot. A 1-1 strike, 2 outs. That is a beautiful pitch for strike 2. So continuing to battle is Alexis Cahill, 108 pitches.
Wow.
Pitching to Catazulo, who's been very productive today. That is a sharp hit ball up the middle. Hanson gets a glove on it, throw on to first, and what a play. Squeezing on the bag was Clinton, and that is the final out of the top of the 7th. So Wolverines do or die, bottom 7 coming up. Welcome back, folks. Bottom 7. Swing and a miss on that first pitch. It looks like Clinton up at the plate. Clinton, very impressive at first. We were watching that last year where she gets a lot of pick plays and makes it look easy.
Yeah.
That's fouled off to the backstop. Eve's got a sister, I believe, 8th grade, who is going to be a pretty darn good athlete.
Yep.
Softball player, basketball player too, basketball as well. 8th grade, I hear a lot of great things about the athletes that are coming up. That is hit our way, and Fish is going to make the play. Fish is covering a lot of ground today. We got 3 Fishes on the team, by the way, Nikki. Yeah. They're saying it was like the Grinleys.
Really?
The Grinleys had 3 in a high school class. Great family. They're not far. They're right over there. Yep. That's going to bring up Izzy Walsh. Takes her first pitch. Ball, I believe. Yep.
Yep.
Gotta love the Game Changer app.
It helps me out on these edits too.
Oh yeah, the box scores and all that. And there we go. That's gonna get down. No, it isn't. My goodness. Fish.
What an outfield.
Come on, Fish. Come on, give us one. That was a great play.
Yeah, she's had a great game in outfield, and
She's
She can
been
cover-
catching balls at the fence, and she's been able to run in basically the dirt.
yeah, she's able to cover a lot of ground. And when you have an outfielder like that, that's a huge advantage.
And to pop up, and this might do it. And it will. The other Fish makes the play. So that was an all-Fish effort there to end the game, and Milton coming away with a win in a very fast-paced game.
Absolutely, and you know, it's a great win for Milton. For the Wolverines, though, a lot of stuff to build on, a lot of stuff to work on here in this season. And they're going to have a little bit of time to work on it over the
Over the break.
April break here, a couple games. I don't have the exact schedule off the top of my head, but I know they're at least doing 1 away game. So for them, a lot of things to continue to work on, but improve upon. But overall, a great game for Milton, and you know, great game here at the softball field.
No question about it. Well, that's going to do it here from Westwood High School. Milton 9-0 winners over the Wolverines. From Evan Cardamino, I am Morgan Donahue. Take care, folks. We'll see you all again soon.